Until now, we learned different ways of manipulating or editing colors in Lightroom. The last major panel for editing colors in Lightroom is calibration panel. In the first view, we might see that this panel is used to control red, green, and blue of our image. So we might say what is its difference between hue saturation slider and calibration one, because they do the same work. But if we go deeper and see what each of them does, they are very different and they do not do the same function. While editing in HSL, we are changing the RGB values of a specific area. For example, if we change the hue or saturation of orange, we are just affecting the areas that are orange in that colors, or we are changing the RGB values of the areas that are orange. Just this area, we are changing the RGB values of this area. But when we are using calibration, we are changing the RGB values of all of the image. And let me show you in here. If we are using HSL, we are just changing the RGB values of these areas that has that specific color. But if we are using camera calibration, we are changing the RGB values of all of the image. Means if we change it, we will be changing the red values and all the colors all over the image. Or if we are changing the green, we'll be changing the value of green in all of our image, as we know that the image or the colors are consistent of three colors: RGB, red, green, blue. Each one with different values combined to each other will make different colors. In black, there are 0, 0, and white, they are 255, 255, 255. And by changing that values of red, green, and blue, we are achieving different colors. So while using calibration, we are changing the overall red, green, or blue values across all of the pixels existing in our image. The calibration panel itself is meant to micro adjust and tune an image colors or the colors interpretation according to the each camera or each image. Let's edit this image using the calibration sliders and see how it goes and what we can do with these sliders. It's similarly to paint slider, and we can use it to add green or magenta to the shadows part. For the reds, let's see what we can do in here. We see that by changing this slider of green primary, we are basically changing the green values in all the colors. We see that both this orange color and this green color is getting saturated. So let's keep it at that. And the saturation slider, as its name suggests, increases the saturation. So let's keep it in here. And let's see what the blues does. Let's keep it this slider because they work together with the change that we made for the green. And the blues, change that. We won't be changing the greens too much. Let's keep it that way. For the red, we see that the skin tones are affected. So I will decrease the saturation of reds and it will automatically decrease the values of red in all the pixels of our image. If we change that, we will be adding saturation to the red values and all of the images will get saturated. And we can also change its hue. Same thing, just like this. Let's apply all of the things and settings that we have learned so far. So I will go to the basic panel and decrease highlights to add some of the details back. And by doing that, we are adding vignette. We can see the lens vignetting clearly. So let's fix that. Enable lens correction, and that fault is fixed. And also check the remove chromatic aberration because we are changing the colors and our image might get some chromatic aberrations. The next step is to let's decrease some blacks and add some contrast. In the tone curve section, decrease the blacks and add a faded look to the image. And that's it. And also let's go to the hue saturations and control the saturation of orange in this image. And yeah, as you see, we by using the calibration, we have more control, even more control of the colors that are present in our image. And this is the before and this is the after of our image. You can toggle between the before and after views using this button. And yeah, this is the before and this is the after. You see, we have made so much difference by using the calibration sliders. So there's no specific rule on how to use these calibration sliders. Just play with them, see which one of them matches with your specific look or specific technique and use them. And we see that this image has too much vibrance in it. So by using vibrance slider, I'll be decreasing its vibrance and adding a little bit of saturation to fine tune that. And yeah, we see this is the before and this is the after. As I said, experiment with the calibration sliders and use it carefully. So that was it for this section and see you in the next section. Have a good day.